everyone, welcome back. If you are new here, welcome, welcome. Make sure to grab a seat. Here's your tea and enjoy the vibes. Today, you see the thumbnail, you see the title of this video. Today we are going to be doing a reading on Tina Knowles and Janet Jackson. Beyonce is in the thumbnail just because, of course, clickbait. And secondly, because this Tina Knowles is Beyonce Carter's, I guess you could say that now. Beyonce Carter's mother, formerly known as Beyonce Knows, and there was this whole squabble that went on online where her mother Tina liked a post that her friend made, I believe, about pretty much going in on Janet Jackson and what she charges for her meet and greets. The Janet Jackson, she's only charging $1,000. I think she could charge way more. Janet is for my time. I don't have a big appreciation for her because again, I didn't grow up on her music. But again, like most greats, like I wouldn't go around disrespecting MC Light or Queen Latifah or who's another great, or like Selena or a Cher. Tina Turner. Like you just don't. You heard a lot of these names. You've heard a lot of people talk about them. You just wouldn't disrespect them. Janet Jackson is up there. You're talking about the Jacksons. You're talking about Michael Jackson's sister. It's just certain people you just don't disrespect like that unless you're in their age group or something. You grew up with them. So, yeah, uh, Tina got a lot of flack for it. She did come back and issue an apology saying that she allegedly didn't read the entire post and she liked it, and that's what happened. She didn't mean any slight or shade to Janet. However, there has been some things in the past where Beyonce has spoken out about Janet Jackson's family. I will say I would direct you to the Impressive channel because this is where I'm getting this information from. I've seen this where she was she doing an interview with Vogue or something like that? She was doing an interview with some magazine and she spoke about like how she didn't have to struggle and her parents didn't use her for money, unlike the Jackson's parents. And Janet allegedly did not like that. And so it's been a bit of a rift between the two since then. So, Janet just ignores Beyonce, and yeah, Beyonce, I think she still says stuff about the Jacksons or like big them up, but she, for the most part, just like, she doesn't do drama. But yeah, I'm going to get into this reading and see what the real issue is between Tina and Janet Jackson because something to me tells me there's something much deeper than that. I don't know if she's jealous of Janet or she feel like her daughter, rightfully so, is just better than everybody, but we're going to see. With all of that being said, you see me holding these cards. You heard me say reading. So, if you did not catch the hint, this is a tarot channel. If tarot is something that disturbs you, you do not condone it. It just is irreputable. You don't like it. Now's your moment. Here's your time to click off. Okay, hopefully that's a little better. I had it really zoomed in, so that wasn't working for me. So, without further ado, if there's something, if tarot is something that disturbs you, here's your moment and time to click off and find something else in the corner of recesses of YouTube to enjoy and to get into. If you are a heathen like myself and you are ready to get into the mess, we're going to move forward. But before we do, I do have to issue yet another disclaimer to all of those who are going to go forward, all you heathens that are going to continue forward with me. Pointing your eyes down here to the bottom of the screen, all statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only. That is literally what it says verbatim. That is what I mean this entire video. You are going to hear things that are my own opinion, that are hearsay, that are rumor, that are alleged. It does not mean it is fact. If you take it as fact, that is on you. Make sure, as I like to say, always exercise your power of discernment because at the end of the day, you trusting yourself is the greatest power you have. Period. So, with all of that being said, do not use tarot for any legal, medical, or financial reasons. Make sure to connect with a professional in those realms in order to get your desired outcome. Tarot is not for that. Okay? So, with all of that being said, let's get into this reading. Okay, so funny enough, we have the Temperance card here for Tina's feelings towards Janet. We have the Hierophant here for Janet's feelings towards uh, Tina. To me, this Hierophant feels like I'm gonna tell you what I got when I was as I was saying the Hierophant. You must want people to kiss your tail. And then we also have the Tower here and the Three of Swords for the energy in between them. But the underlying card here is the card of conflict, the Five of Wands. So I don't care what Tina is saying. Miss Nose, hello, yes, come to the front of the congregation. I don't care about what you're saying. These cards say you're a lie. Okay. Um, I think you knew exactly what you was doing when you posted that. Yep, absolutely. And respectfully so. I think you have every right to believe your daughter is the best and that she deserves all the accolades and people should bow down to her and she's queen and everything above and below. That's your child. Respectfully, you should feel that way. But everybody won't feel that way about your child. Case in point, Janet. She's like, respectfully, your daughter is nice and everything, but you know, next. And she keeps coming for her, and she keeps coming for me. Like, get out of here. The Hierophant, I mean the Temperance here for Tina's feelings towards Janet. To me, I don't. To me, I'm getting wishy washy. I I'm getting wishy washy. Temperance usually is something like where you're in balance. Sometimes people will see temperance as kind of like um usually sometimes people see temperance as like the balance card, everything is how it should be. But with this coming up reverse, to me it reads hostility, it reads conflict, it reads I'm over it, don't want to deal with it. I'm fed up with the bull crap and I'm frustrated. Like that's the energy it gives me. Again, with the Hierophant being here to me for Janet's energy towards Tina, I was hearing like you must want everybody to bow down to you and kiss your ass, and that's just not gonna happen. That's not gonna be me, boo. And again, something underlying. I think that may go back into the Five of Wands that was here underlying the deck, the underlying energy. To me, it just feels like two big families squabbling over legacy or power or control. Um, which is wild to me. But people have their own thing going on here. And this is something else I feel like I've gotten a quite a bit lately when it comes to certain musicians or people in the music industry. A passing of the baton. I feel like that. I feel like there's pressure that Nicki gets a lot right now, passing on the baton. I feel like male rappers get it, passing on the baton. Drake is kind of feeling that pressure where people are like, okay, we're tired of hearing about you. Next, let somebody else come up. Um, who else? I know Mary J. Blige kind of went through that for a minute because people was like, okay, and it's not saying like these people are the most talented or whatever, but give respect where respect is due, and it just feels like a passing of the baton kind of thing going on here. That's something I pick up a couple of times when I'm reading some of these musicians, and I feel like personally, I would not be surprised if Tina and is his name, what is her daddy's name? I forgot her. Mr. Nose and Miss Nose approached Janet about handing the baton off to Beyonce and her sister or whatever, or just off to Beyonce. So, she could walk in rooms a little easier knowing that, oh, she got the stamp of approval from Janet, especially knowing how oftentimes black women or black people in general, black creators, black musicians are treated in the music industry. And I think Janet kind of like just flat out turned it down or just kind of ignored it or whatever. And Tina feels like it was a slight. And for whatever reason, um, and I think it stems from this attitude of like, we're black or whatever, especially we're black women, we should be sticking together. And I think that didn't happen. And so they've had an issue ever since then. It may be some other things with it, but that's kind of like the feeling that I'm getting. That's what's coming through for me. And so, yeah, with this Three of Swords and this Tower card here, it just feels like, okay, well, since you didn't want to pass the baton, I'm going to make sure to cause a lot of trouble for you moving forward, especially knowing that my daughter's going to be where she is. We're going to be able to do, because most people say Beyonce is her and her husband is like the gatekeepers, the rulers when it comes to like Black Hollywood, or like um when it comes to Black music, whatever you want to call it, the Black industry. And she's like, well, we're gonna make sure we change that. She's gonna have the power to do this and do that. And she's gonna be able to do the shot, call shots around here. So it's gonna make it very uncomfortable for you moving forward. And so, yeah, I do think there's some hostility here in between, which is completely understandable. But I feel like if it is something where Janet was just like, well, no, I'll pass. I don't know what it would look like for me to hitch my horse to your daughter's carriage. Like, I don't know where that's gonna take me. What's that's gonna do? How's that gonna benefit me? Like, you gonna have to give me something more than just, oh, because we're black. Like, I think Janet came up in a time when it was really hard getting through Hollywood. And she's like, boohoo, sad story. Like, no. And Tina was kind of like, well, just because you had it that hard on me, you got to make it hard for everybody else, or everybody should have it as hard as you. Like, you can make this easier. Um, I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of like the case. That's kind of like where it stems from. I don't think it's jealousy or anything like that. I think it just feels like a passing on the baton, and things didn't work out, and maybe some words were exchanged, maybe some things were said that could not be taken back, and it infestered, and it's grown from there. Okay, can I get some more clarity? Tina knows. See, something flipped over in here, and this is sticking out to the side, but what flipped over? We have memory, elephants. I don't forget. I never forget. I won't forget. I remember what happened, and I'm not coming up off of it. And then we have instinct. And to me, this just speaks to her maternal instinct. You asked me, I'm gonna protect my daughter, I'm gonna have her back. Um, yeah, you came for her and you did this and you treated her in such a way, and rightfully so. Tina is on Janet's head. I mean, I can respect that. You're a mom. So funny enough, the defend card turned over here with the Scorpio energy, some retribution. Okay, this wanted to come out communicate. See, collaborate. Was it nothing else turned over? Okay. So collaborate and defend. Honey. Then what else came over? Fear. Yeah. Why is everyone fighting in the music industry? Jeez, they are going at it. To me, this just feels like Janet's like, I'm defending my spot, my legacy, everything I have. I'm defending my stance, my point of view, where I was coming from. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Janet has every right to feel the way that she feels because I don't understand. I don't want to understand what kind of life she had to come up in as a young black girl of a pretty famous family. You coming from a poor family, and the amount of exposure and mental, physical, emotional abuse you probably went through in Hollywood to come up at that time, as a little girl, especially coming from a background where you had to fight and people took advantage, you took advantage because you didn't know any better. And she might still have that kind of like crab in the barrel mentality. I'm pointing at the shark, but a crab in the barrel mentality where it's like, if he gets you, you you caught, like I don't care about you and your daughter coming up and y'all trying to build this whole black enterprise and all this other stuff. No, nobody made it easy for me. I'm not gonna make it easy. Not saying like she just actively out here thwarting it for other people, but she's like, no, I'm not just about to hand it over to your daughter and I haven't even seen what she did yet. Because if what I'm getting from this is correct, I feel like this was pretty early in Beyonce's career. Like, no, you ain't even put enough time in, baby. Nah. And for what I've seen, I don't see it all there. Like she needs a bit more time. She needs a bit more spit shine. No. And so again, understand Janet, understand Tina's point of view. I'm not on either side. And with this cunning and this fear here in the middle, yes, it just feels like what Nikki said. I don't care how long it takes to get an eye back. It kind of I don't know. Retribution is the word that's coming to mind, but it definitely feels like, oh, I'm planning some stuff for you. I'm planning the long game. Actually, let's read the book on what this cunning says, because I know the Three of Swords is dealing with this girl whose lover will come back and take pieces and parts of her. But let's read this Wild Mystic because I want to see what the cunning says with the fox. Okay. Ooh, I went right past it. The fox is often associated with both Asian and North American mythology with being a trickster or shapeshifter. The shadow of this card may warn you to be careful of those who can manipulate you or use their words to make you question yourself. And they say Miss Tina be playing with the dials. Here we go with leap of faith. One more card. Oh, and I got two. Mm. Covetous designs, baby. Anytime I see that one, to me, this just feels like if someone isn't careful, they're going to be caught in a trap of their own design. Whether it's by spinning certain narratives, um, if it's by again going back to that fox with the cunning, gaslighting or spinning certain things that a person said and making it seem like it was way worse or like making it bigger than what it is. Bringing up old past things, dirt, and just kind of reads like campaign kind of thing. But I think if somebody is not careful, they're going to end up in a trap of their own making. Somebody is going to use everything they said and did back on them, and they're going to have to be careful. That's what it feels like to me. And I think if this is some spell work going on, I mean, I feel like if hopefully you've been doing it long enough to know better, but you should be careful because that stuff can have a way of lingering, and it may not blow back on you. It may not even blow back on your child, but it could blow back on your grandkids. It could blow back on your grandkids' kids. Like, or it'll have a way of snaring you in it. Like, be careful. But who am I to talk? I'm a baby. Um, yeah, this just feels all of this just feels darker. It just feels like be careful. To me, this speaks of entrapment. This speaks of like, okay, you took the bait. This feels like, okay, we're gonna swap positions. You said you wanted this. Okay, you're gonna need us. This feels like, okay, well, I'm gonna start um messing with your reality. I'm gonna start messing with your reality. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see more things coming up about Tina and Janet, or like somebody come up with a story like that friend who tweeted. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like one of Tina's friends or somebody from back in the day was like, "Oh yeah, Janet said this about Beyonce once upon a time," and then Janet goes to respond, and it's like, "Okay, well, we're gonna put out something else. We're just gonna steady spin this narrative that Janet isn't like this nice girl or this girl's girl." Or like, black power girl that she says she is. Black, what is it? Black girls rock or black girls rule, something like that. Like, she's not that black girls rock person that she says she is. Like, she's really for self. I don't know who that would really surprise. It ain't gonna surprise me. I mean, y'all celebrities, the narcissism is on 1,000. But yeah, that's just kind of what it feels like. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you're somebody who's a little older who probably has more tidbits on, a little bit more insight, and who can pull up some old juicy rumors that used to go around about Tina or the Knowles and the Jacksons back in the day and stuff like that. Please put it down in the comment section below because I'm definitely interested because I feel like this was something that was a bit out of my depth and I couldn't give it all of the necessary information because of that, but I wanted to make sure I went into this as blind as possible to make sure I was picking up on the exact energy that was coming through. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to know more about kind of like what was some of the rumors back in the day that was said, or was there some riffs and tiffs outside of the magazine interview that Beyonce did and stuff like that. I'm interested to know. If you like this reading, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more readings from me, make sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe so you can see the next time I upload. With all of that being said, I wish you all a great night or a great day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.